When you were in when you were in middle school, did they used to test you for scoliosis?
Sure.
Did you guys get tested for scoliosis?
I have a weird story about that. I got tested for scoliosis. I bent over, they ran their fingers up my spine, they said, "You have scoliosis."
Sleep with your jeans on.
And, "You have scoliosis." And then I never heard anything about it.
That's brilliant.
They're testing for it. I'm like, yeah, I will.
Well, I have trauma from when I got my, because the guys that gave us scoliosis, they would have a woman do the women and a guy do the men, you know? And I always thought it was weird that he'd be like, "I can't even do it, but use your imagination." It was not, like, bend over.
I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I don't want to go there.
When I got my spinal exam, they just touched my spine.
Not me. He's like, "This is how you do it. This is how we do it." I was like, "Okay, seems like a weird way to see it. Like my spine, not nowhere near my spine." You know where I'm going with this. I actually do. Did finger blasted you? He said that the way to check for scoliosis was to put his dick in my butt. That's what he said. No, that's actually true. That is how you do it? This is wrong. Yeah. What?
Wait, you weren't the one that was asking.
I know. There's like this amazing synergy.
You literally...
My sister fella!
Were you just screaming a name to see if he would respond? What?
Showalter, we all got quiet for you.
I thought you had something important to say. I'm your father! Son!
I didn't know my dad was like a 23-year-old drunk dude. Showalter! What? He hurt me.
How is that even possible? All I did was scream at the top of my lungs.
This is like when I got busted. Remember?
No.
At the Super Bowl?
Yes. We went to the Super Bowl. Here, see,
Go.
well, I was doing some commercials for Sierra Mist. And, some fans of lemon lime soft drink. All right. Thanks very much.
It's time, Sister Bella! You were saying.
So, one day, right towards the Super Bowl,
Chicken flavored
you've been awfully kicky
I
tonight.
know. All right, keep going.
I get a call on like a Thursday or a Friday saying, Sierra Mist wants to fly you down to the Super Bowl. I know. The thought that I would go to a sporting event. Fuck you. So I said, yeah, that would be awesome. And they said, and you could bring somebody. So I immediately thought of my friend Michael Showalter, which I really appreciate. And I called him up and I said, pack your shit. We're going to the Super Bowl. So we go down there, and it's in Florida.
Miami.
Oh, Miami, yeah. And there's some teams playing. And the morning of the Super Bowl, there's this huge corporate breakfast, or brunch, where all the like PepsiCo companies get together and talk about how great their brands are. And the featured speaker is John Elway, who was a quarterback for a football team. So,
Denver Nuggets.
John Elway talks about football, and then he says, or then the moderator says, and John's going to open it up for questions.
You're leaving out one thing.
Which is what?
There were easily 1,500 people.
Oh yeah, it was a huge room. Far more people than there. So the guy goes, does anybody have any questions for John Elway? Without even a millisecond passing, Showalter's hand shoots into the air. It's the only hand in the air.
I didn't anticipate that. I was like, everyone's going to raise their hand. John Elway's like, you. I mean, who else was he going to call on?
It was as if he had been waiting his entire life to ask John Elway a question. And I couldn't wait to hear what the question was. Now, did you know what you were going to ask?
No, of course not. It was just an automatic response. I'm just like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll participate. Why doesn't anyone else want to ask this guy a question? It's on me.
But within a moment, I mean, you had a question.
I know. I improvised.
Do you remember the question?
Yeah. I said, chicken flavor? I said, hey, John. Big fan. I'm really curious to know.
I wish you had done it in that voice.
Really curious to know. The night before the game, you guys were really, excited and nervous. It's kind of a two-part question. Part one is, do you get any sleep the night before a game? And if the answer is no, does it affect your performance?
Like, this is going to matter at all to anything that's relevant to your life.
I was curious.
How John Elway sleeps the night before a game.
I was curious. You guys want to know what he said, right? He said, I get my sleep 2 nights before the game.
When he said that, my mind just went.
He said, yes, we don't sleep much before the game. We're excited, so we get all our sleep 2 nights before the game.
Amazing answer.
Anyway, the long story short is, the guy who screamed out Showalter has a chance. He's gone.
Did you sleep before the show?
Did we sleep before this show?
Yeah.
Like babies.
Did you say like babies?
Yeah.
Yeah, like babies. That's the answer.
Okay.
That's right, that is the
But
answer.
I take a lot of Ambien. I don't remember half the shit I do at night. I'm just saying, I don't remember what happens, baby. I'm not responsible. You want to talk about your cat? Sure.
So I had a cat who, for many years, who passed away.